It is very important for every designer to know this. All right, every designer needs to know this style of design that they love to do. I'll teach you guys how to know your style of design. Okay, then you don't go into the system. You don't go into design without having a goal. All right, every any designer that you see today, all creative designer that you see who are making it today, they have what they are going into the business to solve. Yeah, every designer must have why they are going into the business. For me, the reason why I decided to go into the business is because I want to bring change into the movie poster, industry. Like creating poster that are more foreign like. I know so many of you are used to watching or seeing, don't let me say watching, seeing African Magic movie posters. You notice that our posters are always looking different from foreign um posters. So I decided to come into the game uh, to bring new look, like to change that, making our poster look like the way it used to look. And this has really helped me as a creative person. In fact, of course, yeah, I know some of you may feel, oh, but Caesar, so what if you're given a brand project to work on? Do you know that that style that made me go into the business is what I'm using to also solve designs for corporate firm, for corporate organization. Don't worry, I'm going to teach you guys how to do this right. Then yeah, so you need to load your intuition because your ability to load your intuition is what help your creativity. Now, I mentioned that you need to know your style first. So this your knowing your style, knowing why you're going into the business is what will make you know how what to load your intuition with. All right, because every creative person must learn this habit of waking up his or inspiration through checking out other people's design. But when you're checking out other design and you don't have that style of design that you love to do, it will be difficult for you to know what to pick from the design. And that's why you see most creative today, whenever they are asked to work on design projects, they end up repeating the same design they copied from somebody else's work. All right, sorry, I need to move this here. All right, so they end up, recreating what somebody already did. And the reason why is like that is because they don't know what exactly made the design look successful. They don't really know what exactly inspired them to look at the design. So what they do is, okay, let me just copy everything in the design and then make it mine. All right, please. I don't know if you guys are still following me. All right, so please, if we are together, can I see you drop a message and say we are together here so that I will know if you guys are still with me here. Okay. All right. So yeah, I can see a message from someone there. That's from Versatile Joseph. All right, good. So so you need to load your intuition, and that's why we have platforms today that we can use to achieve this. When I started graphic design, the way we get inspirations for design project now is not how we used to get it when I started design. I've been in the design business now for 17 years. All right, and I remember when I started, I before you can get inspiration for design, you have to is either you see designs on billboards, or maybe when you were using Facebook, you just saw somebody, and people don't really post design like the way we have now. When people started posting designs on social media was when uh, um when Facebook started, and also when Instagram started. So this now made people started posting design. In fact, there's no Pinterest then. That's where I'm actually going. Even Facebook is only the people you follow or the people who are your friends that you see their posts. If you're going to see any design from anybody, you have to is either you search for the person, all right, and check the design on the person's page, or you follow the person, you make the person your friend. And in fact, it's not as easy as the way it is now. Like for example, you have to work on a design for a bank, and then the person that you always inspire you to do design is our focus, or maybe the brand you're trying to copy design from is a church. You can't use a church poster to do a bank design. They are two different. firm. And that's why, and that's where that part of communication, that part of our communication skills comes in. Do you understand? So it was not very, it's not easy then. But today we have website like Pinterest, we have Behance, we have even, yeah, Instagram. Instagram too is also part of where designers can drive inspiration. And the way it is now, you can always pin designs. All right, you can always, pin design on your board. You can save design that capture your attention on Instagram. Even beyond, you can create a board, all right, a mood board, and then save designs that draw your attention. So there's this opportunity for you to save designs now, which I believe is another opportunity for you to know the type of designs you love to do. Now, how do you know the type of designs you love to do? I know so many of you here have designs that you saved, that that capture your attention. Now, what I need you to do after this training is go back and check those designs and see. I'm going to mention the most common type of designs that we do. We have corporate designs. All right, we have um, church designs. All right, so church designs and movie posters, they share similar style. Then we have designs with just vectors, design that you have to use, designs that most people use silhouettes to create the illustration. So when you go to your board, check out if these three designs, check the design with the group with the highest number of say. I do this. All right. I always, in fact, not that I do this to know what the type of design I like to do, but I have where I group this type of design. Like I have a folder where, like on my Instagram account, I have uh, um, uh, should I call it folder, where I save different type of designs. So if I want to tell a story with a new concept, I just go to the one that I want to use to tell the story. Now, see guys, I'm going somewhere here because I don't want you guys to say, okay, so if I know my style of design, am I supposed to focus only on my style of design? No, no. Now, why I said you should have your type of design is this. Um, if you really want to make it as a designer, all right. I know this one is not really part of what I'm supposed to share, but I need to put this. There's the part of creating the unexpected as a creative person. Now, creating what people don't see coming. But for you to be able to create what people don't see coming, please create, post more of or make people see more of the type of designs that you love to do. All right. Make them see the type of design that they know you with. When people know you for a particular style, all right, you see them asking you when they start giving you job to do that, please, is it possible for you to come up with this concept for us? And even if they didn't ask you, once in a while you can just add those other style of design to make them trust you, because one of the things that make clients trust us as designers is when they see that you are very very good at, or not very very, you are good at uh, coming up with different styles of design that communicates the right message to the viewer. So check out those designs that you save the most. That is your style of design. And the next thing you now need to do after knowing your type of design, which I notice so many creatives still don't understand, is you now need to do your research on the type of application that you're to use to achieve that type of design. Now, what I'm sharing with you guys will save you guys the stress of fighting with um, achieving good design. Do you understand? So go do your research on the type of application to achieve that project, because one of the things that help our creativity as designers is when you understand how to use the application that you love to achieve design projects. All right. Now I'm still going to share what will help you to be more creative as a designer. All right. But let's let me allow me to take it step by step. So know that. Do you understand? Then know the application and what else again? Well, let me check my note. Know the application. Yeah, this then the other part that you also need to know as a creative person is there's something called design brief. I've heard so many designers that say When I'm asked to work on design projects, when I get to my system, I mostly don't know what to do. The reason why you don't mostly know what to do as a creative person is you don't know the problem you're asked to solve. It's like when you're going out to see someone. What will make you hit the road is when you know where you're going. I'm sure so many of you have never stepped out of your house without having where exactly you're going. So you go out knowing, okay, this is where I want to go, and that will now make you know the bus to take, even if you're going to take Uber. It will help you know what to tell the Uber driver, so the Uber driver can tell you what it will cost to take you there. So that's how graphic design is. And one good thing about using a design brief is your understanding of the project is what activates your creativity. Yeah. If you don't understand the project, there's no way you can be creative. In fact, there's no way you can even tell story with design. Your lack of not understanding the brief is what make you go just check design that is not even the color in the project, because yes, there's a part of using color to communicate the message right. All right. So your part of not understanding the project is what makes you use colors that are not necessary in the project. Like for example, I'm asked to do a men's meeting artwork, and I'm using purple because I saw a purple design that the designer did a good job with the layout, and then I love the way the designer combined purple in the project. If you use a purple color for meeting for men, I'm telling you they will reject it. Yes, they will, because you are trying to call them gay. Men don't really like purple. Do you understand? Men don't like purple. If you use purple color to do design for men, they won't like it. It's like you doing a design for somebody in China. All right, the person is trying to say, the person say do a happy birthday artwork, or maybe do a party artwork for us, and you're using white. The clients will reject the project because white to them simply means death. All right, they see white as death to them. Do you understand? So you need to understand the brief. You need to understand the client. All right, you need to understand the client's belief on color. You need to understand the way you want people to feel when they see the design. All right, you need to understand all these things. So these are the things that help your creativity. And the getting of the design brief is very easy. The question you're supposed to ask whenever you are getting the design brief is number one, what is the background? There's always a reason why clients ask us to work on design projects. And if we don't meet that reason, the design is not going to look attractive to the client, even if you make it beautiful. In as much as it's not really telling the right story, the client will surely reject it. All right. So you need to understand what exactly are we doing? Why do we have to work on this project? Then you hear them saying, okay, so we just launched a new product. This product have the power to do this. And then you now say, okay, if this product have the power to do this, all right, what make this product different from every other product? Now listen, when you say what makes this product different from every other product, like the product, I'm just using this as an example. Then when you ask them that, they now tell you what makes the product different. Now, when they tell you what makes the product different, that thing they mention should be the focus in the design. In fact, when you do that, I'm telling you, it will be difficult for the client to reject the project because you've actually mentioned what the reason why they started uh, um, the business, or the reason why they launched the product. So the goal of the project must be projected in the project. Your lack of not projecting the right thing. It's like somebody who is saying, okay, like a brand contacted you and say, we want you to help us design a poster for this cream. And the next thing you did was, boom, you just put the cream on the poster and send it to them. When you do that, You are not marketing the cream. You're only marketing the plastic or the tube or whatever item that the cream is inside. Because there's nothing telling people what the cream can do. Yeah, I know you're going to put text that explain what the cream can do, but it won't really draw people's attention like when they see people's picture in the design. So your job as a designer is to ask, what can this cream do? If they tell you this cream can fix cracked skin, then your job as a designer is to get a picture that shows the before and after of someone's skin. When you do this, you'll see the client saying, "Wow, this is exactly what we're looking for. I'm telling you, this is what I do." So you need to ask questions. You need to know what exactly the project is talking about. Then the other thing you need to ask them is, how do you want people to feel when they see the design? What type of impression do you want to portray with the poster? And you hear them say, well, we're looking at having something that's so friendly, or we're trying to depict luxury, we're trying to depict urban, and so on. And this is where the font choice for the project comes in. All right. Now, I have so many things I can teach you guys on how to break down design brief, but that is not my focus today. So I'm only telling you guys what you need to know if you really want to. I mean, like the steps that you must know to really understand the system of design. All right. Now, then after getting the brief, then the next thing you need to do is to uh, gather the necessary elements, because the reason why so many of us use wrong elements in our projects or elements that are not necessary in our project is the reason is because we lack the understanding of the problem we're asked to achieve. And that's why we end up using lines when lines are not necessary. Meanwhile, lines, each of those elements have their own meaning. Like, for example, lines, or we call it rules in graphic design, are supposed to be used to control the movement of the eye in the design. I see many designers just use line in the, no, no, you don't do that. Shapes, boxes are supposed to be used as board. All right, they're supposed to use like billboard, the shape of billboard now. Triangle are supposed to be used as signs. So whenever you're using all these elements, you are actually you're trying to create the things that people are already used to around you, and they're using it to pass a message in the design. So whenever you use the triangle in your design, you are trying to say, hey, there's a warning I'm trying to pass here. So each of the elements of design have what they are supposed to do. It's like white space. The job of a white space is to create rest, is to make give people the ability to breathe whenever they whenever they are going through the project. When you don't use white space in your project, you are trying to choke the people. The work of color is to evoke emotion, is to create that, make it like the way when you see let me use blue, all right, in your project, you are trying to depict something cool, like something cool and friendly. When you use red, is that you are trying to say death, danger, or love. So message, the text in the project with the color, they work together. They work together. So your understanding of the brief is what makes you know the right element to put together to achieve the project. Then the next thing you now need to do before you get to your workstation is work on your analog workstation. So many designers still don't understand this part. Every designer must have two workstations. We have the analog workstation, and then we have the digital workstation. The analog workstation is that uh, uh, workstation that you use your pen and your paper. This is my studio behind you here, and this is my drawing book. Yeah, it's looking rough. It's a sign for you guys to know that it's really working. If I open it now, you see different, drawings. I don't know if you guys can see it. I have different drawings there. All right, I have drawings there. Okay, you guys can really see. So this here, all right, this here is better than you using the analog workstation. Yeah. because our brain works faster with our hand. Our brain works faster with our hand without introducing any third party. The third party is your workstation. So if you really want to create it, it's always best to draw your layout here. All right. It's always best to draw your layout here before you get to the digital workstation. The job of the digital workstation is to fine tune what you design with this. And if you allow this to work together with your uh, digital workstation, I'm telling you, you are going to achieve a beautiful project. Why? Because when you work on the digital workstation and then you get to when you work on the analog workstation, the analog workstation is just to give you an idea of what the project is going to look like. By the time you get to the analog workstation, then you now start seeing some things that your mind did not go to when you were working with the uh, digital, I mean, analog workstation. So when you get to the digital workstation, you see yourself seeing some of the things that you did not even notice or pay attention to when you were drawing um, when you were working with the analog workstation. So the job of the digital workstation is to fine tune what you did with the analog workstation. So if I'm making sense to you, can I see you drop a message? Because most time when I'm talking to uh, designers like this, it's always making me feel like I'm the only one who's enjoying myself and I'm the only one learning. All right, please, I need people to respond. All right, so I can go to the next thing I want to share. Hello, please, I need your response, everyone. Please, it's very important to me. Your thumbs up, your go ahead, or making sense will go a long way. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. So I can see Marvelous message. Marvelous said we're enjoying you, sir. Beautiful. All right. So then, the next part is the principles of design. Now you see, um, the principles of design is very important. All right. In fact, anything that does not have principle is going to look rough. It's going to look mad or look crazy. The same way there are principles you must go through in life to survive, is the same way design also have its own principle, or design have its own principle. All right. Now, the principles of design work together with the element of design. The element of design is just there to make people is to talk to the people to make them know the meaning or to explain or to pass information to them. Yeah, that's just it. The work of the principle of design is to just pass information to the people. And that's why when we see letter A, letters are part of the typography, type, which is also part of the element of design. When you see letter A, you know this is letter A. When you see a stop sign, which is the triangle, you know this is the stop sign. So the work of the element is just to inform the people, to talk to them. But the principles of design is what actually make the design balance. All right, is what make it balance. So if you forget the principle of design and focus only on the element of design, I'm telling you, your design, in fact, your design will be like it will be like when you are gambling. There are times when you are going to gamble and win, and there are times when you gamble and you lose. That's how your design will look. Because there are times when you do your design and boom, the client will say, I like it. And there are times you do it, it won't work. But when you understand the principle, the principle helps you with making the focal points capture the attention of the viewers. It helps you control the eye movements of the viewers. It gives your design good structure. It adds depth to your design. It makes your design look like the way people see things in the three-dimensional world. So the principles of design is very, very important. The principle of design cannot work without the element of design. The element of design cannot communicate effectively without the principle of design. So every designer must understand the principles of design if you really want to tell, if you really want to achieve good design composition. All right. Then your understanding all these things is what help you with achieving successful design. Now, whenever you are working on design projects, don't say the first option you created is not looking okay to you, then you delete it and come up with another option. No, that's not how it works. When you do a design and the design looks not okay, don't let me say okay. Yeah, I'll say not okay to you. Save it. Make it one of your options. Then you can now come up with another option. I will tell you why. Whenever you're working on design projects and you're sending your uh, designs to the client or design to the client, when you send one option, even if that one option is beautiful, all right, it won't really capture the attention of the client like when you send two options. You're sending more than one option can make a client approve design that he or she was supposed to say no to if you had sent just one of the design. So whenever you're working on design projects, start getting used to sending options to your clients so they can, so when you do a good design, that good design will make the other one that is not looking okay look like trash to them and they go for the successful one. Now there are times when they will reject the two. A good designer don't get mad when client rejects your option. A good designer will go back, ask question and understand the client's need. The same way I have my style of design is the same way you have your style of design. Your style of design may not work with my style of design. All right. And see, don't forget, make sure you always use your style of design to solve design goals for your clients. That's one of the ways you can enjoy graphic design. If you're trying to use somebody else's style to achieve design, you get out of design. Make your style be what you're going to be using to achieve design goals so you'll find design interesting. All right. And also, make sure you post more of the design you love to work on. If you're posting designs you don't really like to do and they contact you for those type of design, you will get tired of the business. So do more of the type of design you love to do so people who like those type of design can contact you and give you design work to work on. Whenever I'm working on design projects, I don't see myself complaining. And that's why when clients say no. Now, listen, no, there are times I complain. And when I complain is when I notice that my client is now misusing the opportunity. Because there are some people who are very funny. All right. I always, no, no, I always say no, 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 no. But what I do is not like I get rude to them or I insult them. I give them a call and ask them questions that will make them to go and sit down and think that before they will send me a message and start rejecting my project again, it will take them time. So I ask them, what exactly do you want me to do? Do you have designs that you've seen somewhere that draw your attention that you like? And most time, some of them will quickly respond by sending me design they saw somewhere, and I'll ask them why exactly. Please, if I'm supposed to stop, let me know because I can hear somebody's voice in the background. So I ask them um, why exactly, what made you like this design? Because you need to know why they like the design. And when they are saying, you need to listen. Some of them will say, I like the way their logo is big. Please write it down. I like the way the font is big. Please make it big. I don't like the way the date is too big. Please reduce the date for them. These are the things you must make sure you make available in the version you are sending to them. And there are times when, excuse me, there are times when the only thing that what actually made the client reject my project is because I didn't use the client's favorite color. Hmm. Guys, people are funny. Oh. There are some clients that will reject your work because you didn't use their I have a client that I used to work for before. If you want to win his heart, please just use gold. Even if the layout is boring, once he sees that gold color, man, he's going to tell you, he will surely approve the design. There's one I'm working for at the moment. It's not in Nigeria, it's in United States. Just give this woman yellow. Once she sees yellow, I'm telling you, she will approve the design. So color is one of the tools that we creatives can use to make a client approve our design. All right. So I think I have to stop here. And yeah, I'm done. Yes, I can.
Okay. So thank you very much, sir, for your speech. It was a very wonderful one. I had to go because of technical issues, but now that I'm back, I really want to do this. So that was Mr. Adetunji, aka Caesar Graphics, and he's a consultant who focuses on providing solutions and sound brand strategy, design illustration, innovation, and brand experience. So this is someone that he has been known for so much in the graphics world, and I'm sure we learned a lot. So while I was still online, I was able to pick one or two things, which were the fact that you should, when you get a brief, first of all, you have to always find out the way you understand the brief. You have to find a way to understand the brief, and then you work on your analog station, meaning that every designer has the analog station and the digital station. So thank you very much, sir, for that. And if you can hear me now, and if you really love that chat, please can you put out your emojis and your comments just so I know that you are following me right now. All right. Okay, I'll be giving us time. So you can also tell me what stood out for you from that particular rendition. Please let me know if you've been following completely. Okay. So once again, welcome to BAM Design Camp 2025 with the theme Designing Tomorrow, Creativity with Purpose in a Changing Africa. And like I said, that was Caesar Graphics that gave us the keynote of principles that never fail, balance, hierarchy, color, and laws of a good design. So I would like us to actually go into the fireside chat, which is on branding mistakes that cost millions, lessons from rising creatives. So, sir, if I might ask, what would you say is one branding mistake most rising creatives make, or people that just want to start out as designers?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I think your network is fluctuating, so it's making me find it
Okay,
hard to hear you. Mm.
okay, can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so I said, what would you say is one branding mistake people usually make?
I can hear you again. Oh, is it possible for you to type it and send? We
Okay,
can't
I
hear you.
think it
Can
is
you type the question and send, please?
right. Type it.
All right. But please, I hope everyone learned something. Please, if you learned from the things I shared with you, please, I would appreciate if you can drop a message and let me know because I can't see anybody, I can't hear anybody. I can only see myself looking cool in front of the camera. So if you learn anything, please let me know because I'm always happy whenever I do this and I see people, learning from me. All right. So please, if you learn anything, please, I would appreciate if you guys can drop a message and let me know. Okay, yeah. Okay, so maybe while we're waiting for the questions, okay, I think there's a private message. Let's see. Okay, so while we're waiting for the questions, um, so let me just quickly add this to the things I shared with you. All right, now, okay, so design. So I'm hearing feedback. I think I can hear myself. So I think somebody needs to mute in his or her microphone. Someone needs to mute his or her microphone, please. All right. Please, if you guys won't have something to say, you're free. I'm just trying to not make the room too quiet. So if you have anything you want to say with your microphone, you're free to unmute your microphone. All right. Now, so while we're waiting for the question, I want you guys to know that graphic design graphic design is a process and not a result. Don't always focus on the result and forget the process. It's like when you're walking through a path, right? That's how graphic design is. It's like you're walking through a path. A designer is not a Superman. It's only Superman that can jump or fly from the beginning of the path and land on the end part of the path. But graphic design is not like that. There are process you're supposed to go through to achieve that goal that you want to achieve. So all the things I shared with you guys here are what you should work on if you're a designer. Remember, you have what it takes to be a to you have that thing that makes you different from every other designer. Focus on that your style. All right, that's your style is what you should use to achieve design projects. Okay, now understanding your style is not just okay. Now I've gotten my style, and then I've gotten the right application, and then you're cool with it. No, 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 no. There's a part of doing research on all the things that can make you achieve that your style of design. Yeah, I know I didn't add this. Your understanding, please, oh guys, if you have, I'm stylishly waiting for because this topic is something that by the time if I start it, we won't finish. We won't finish today. Okay, ahead. So don't say because I'm talking now, you now pause on the question. Please drop the question because I need to go.
Okay. Yes. I just want to confirm if you can hear me now, sir.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I'm sorry for the network issues. So I wanted us to go into a fireside chat that was talking
Okay.
about branding mistakes that cost millions, and we just want to get lessons from creators. So the first question I asked was that what common branding mistake would you say most creators make?
Okay, so the first common mistake we make is playing with the not using the logo of the brand the right way. All right. Some of us always make this mistake of placing the brand logo or like having an image behind the brand logo. All right. That's one mistake we make. And the number two is making the mistake of changing the hue of the brand color. All right. We make that mistake. And then the other one is the part of forgetting that there are types that we're supposed to use to achieve design project for the brand. All right. So those things are what mostly make us make mistakes that cause serious problem for the organization. So you need to, and that's why every designer must make sure you have the brand manual of the organization. Even if you don't have the brand manual of the organization, this I think it's three I mentioned are the most common thing that you must watch out for. Do not distort the logo of the brand. The elements in the brand's logo, everything must complete. All right. And why I say everything must complete, because there are times where designers will ungroup the editable version of the brand's logo, and then when we are selecting the logo, we always forget that there's this part of the element that we're supposed to drag with the logo to where we want to position it. So that part that we did not drag can change the message. It can change the look of the logo. It's like the way we have Apple logo. We have that apple with the leaf on top of it. So it's like you moving the apple without the leaf. Please, I'm getting feedback. I can hear myself. I think somebody needs to
Mm,
mute his own.
yeah.
Anyway, that's just what I want to share with you. That's the only thing
Okay.
I want to share
Okay,
with you
sir.
on that. Yeah. Mhm.
Thank you very much, sir. So it says not important the brand in any way at all. And I think I can relate with that. I'm also
I can't
getting
hear
feedback.
you. I'm getting feedback. Somebody needs to mute his or microphone, please.
Okay, I think it has been muted now. All right, so you talked about making sure the logo is not distorted in any way and using the logo in the right way, not changing anything about the logo. And I said, I think it's something I can relate to because there was a particular point. I wasn't even a designer. I'm not a designer. Maybe as an architecture student, I am a designer, but not in graphic design or brand design. Yes, and I was editing a particular video and I just used an old logo they had, changed the background, had something, and they were like, no, we don't do things like that. We don't want you to do it like that because they just wanted to be very careful about their logo being the exact way it was. And I see that that's actually a true mistake to make in branding. Okay. And I just want
Mhm.
to know if you have any experience that you can share with us that might have cost you millions in terms of branding, a mistake that you made. Not millions per se, but money.
Okay, so what I will share with you, man. Okay, can I quickly share two with you? All right,
All right,
so
I want to.
I'll start with the one with the color, and that particular one was not even my fault. It was the printer. All right, the printer's machine had issue. So when the printer printed the brochure, the color came out looking different from the brand's color. It's not like it's really different. It's green. Their color is green, but this green color is their color is more of light green. Then when the printer printed the job, it gave them the dark value of green. So it really caused serious issue that we had to keep we were repeating the printing, and it cost us a lot of money. Then the other one, which I'm going to advise every one of you to make sure you never make the mistake, is this. Please, I'm begging every one of you. I need everyone to listen. It may sound funny, but it's not funny. So there's this client that asked me to do a it's a fashion brand, so they asked me to do their their complimentary card for them. So I did a complimentary card, and they were like, no. So we have this shiny effect that we always have in our we always like to see in the name of our brand. So the normal me now, Photoshop guru. So I went online and got a picture of a shiny gold effect, and I should have just used the gold the way it is, the way I downloaded it from the internet. So me and I added some sparkling effects to it. All right, and when the client printed the job, the sparkling was not looking sparkling. Actually, it was sparkling, but not normal sparkling. When I say normal sparkling, I mean she was expecting real sparkling. So when I printed the job, and she was so excited when I did the job for her, and she was really, really. That's why, ladies, guys, if you're a guy here and you're working for ladies, okay, let me even say ladies too, because we have some female designers here. Please, when you're working for ladies, take your time to know what they want to. Always tell them what you are doing before you print the job. Eh? Uh-huh.
Shout out to ladies if you have.
So, so I delivered the job to her, and when she saw the printout. Somebody was very, very happy when she saw the design. In fact, she was so happy that she when she saw me with the printout, she was happy. She was smiling with me from afar, you know. And she asked me to drop from my car to come and sit with her in her car. She on the AC. We were both together. Everything was just cool. She was really happy with me. She was able to understand as if we are related. And immediately she saw the printout, everything changed. Somebody you're looking at like your brother now became your enemy. And the next thing I saw was she was crying. When she was crying, I actually thought it was tears of joy. Seriously. When she saw the job,
Wow.
tears started dropping from her eyes, and I was like, "Wow!" Me, I was still smiling. Do you understand? Yeah, I was actually smiling when I saw the tears, and I was thinking what she was going to say. Wow! And the next thing I said was, and the next thing she said was, "Why am I smiling? Why did I do this to her?" I said, "Duke." I said, "This is the job. You are laughing. It's not funny. Oh." something, something that
Funny
something
actually.
that destroyed the relationship. You are laughing. Don't laugh, oh,
Oh my
because
god.
I lost the client, man. You know,
Wow.
and she was like, "What? Why did you do this to me?" How about I said, "What exactly is the problem?" He said, "This is not looking shiny, and is it shiny?" I said, "It's shiny because the shiny I'm looking at is the printout type of shiny, but the shiny she's looking for is that normal glitter. How can you expect printout to shine like normal glitter?" And because of this, she rejected the job. I couldn't get my balance,
Oh my god.
and she stopped contacting me. So why I decided to share this with you is whenever you're working for clients and they ask you to do some moves, please make sure you educate them. Which that was a mistake I made there.
Mm.
Or I'm not gonna call it a mistake because we learn every day. All right. It's always best, or every designer must learn how to educate his or her clients. Some of us, when clients make corrections, the next thing we just do is boom, you just make the correction. There's a part of you educating them. You need to let them know the reason why this is like this is because this is the message. If we make this move, we can affect the message. Some of them will agree, and some of them won't. If they did not agree, please don't go and wear boxing glove and start telling them that you have one ring beside one boxing ring beside your building. That if they know how to fight, they should come down there. No, don't do that. Eh? Don't do that. All right. So those are the two things that I can share with you. I have some other ones because 17 years in the business is not a joke. But these are the two most funniest, ones. I have other ones that are funny, but I don't want to sleep here today.
Okay. That must have been a sad experience that time. But I'm sure we can laugh about it now. And we thank God
Yeah,
for that. But so I think we've learned a lot about branding right now. That one of the major things is that you really need to be able to educate your clients, and this is something that I can really relate to because even on any job per se, it doesn't even have to be like anything that has to do with you putting your brand out there because they might not necessarily understand that okay, this is the nitty-gritties of this job, these are the things that happens within this job, and they just feel everything should be right exactly like this. And
yeah.
thank God for that. So I would just like to ask, is there any advice you have for any upcoming designer or someone who's trying to build a name for themselves, a brand for themselves, and they're starting off? What advice would you tell them, sir?
Okay, so um, first, I'll say this to every one of you that design is a good business. All right. I went for, I was at an event today and I was asked to share my story. And what I'm about to share with you here now is what I shared with them. Do you understand? Because I was asked the same question. All right. And I want to say this to you guys that design is like, I'm going to call it, it's like it's like when you plant a seed. All right. When you plant a seed, you don't just leave the seed and go away. No, you have to be wetting the seed. All right. Now, a time will now come that the seed will now be what's going to be feeding you. You are the one feeding the seed. Then the time will come, the seed will be what's going to be feeding you. So every designer must learn the habit of studying because this game is as fun as it is. All right, there's a part of the learning part of it, which everybody must not joke with. If you're going into design, you must learn to wear the learning coach with it. Do you understand? Don't say because you know how to use the application, like those people that I I came across when I started graphic design, where they can use their jaw to press the shortcut, excuse me, keyboard shortcuts on the computer. They can use their elbow, their forehead to press shortcut. They know how to do shortcut. That is not design, no. That is knowing the application. Which yes, you need to know the application, but it's a part of understanding the principle. Which all the things I shared with you guys today, if you can work on them, trust me, you're gonna find design very interesting. So the way we use social media is different from the way, which is another point I want to share with you. The way designers use social media is different from the way an ordinary person use social media. We don't use social media because we want to see our favorite actor or our favorite artist. And if your favorite actor is a graphic designer, please follow the person. We follow people who are into what we do, all right? Because we're in a world where people want to be entertained. And for those who, but if you guys don't know, we are also an entertainer. I'm telling you today, because when you do design, you're actually creating a scene, not SIN. I mean SCENE. It's like when you watch movies, you know the way we have all those scenes, and that's why every successful movie that look interesting to you, they always have designer among them. They call them, I think they call them video designer or something. So every scene, they always design it. That's the same way graphic design is. So if you really want to make money in the business, you need to always give to the business. And that's why I use the illustration of the seed. If you don't give to the business will not give to you. If you give to the business will give to you. Most of the time I use social media, what I do is to draw inspiration. Now see, you don't be like those designers out there that the only thing they do is when they see design that draw their attention, they pin the design or save the design and wait till when they have any project that is related to that project and then copy from the project. No, because some people have put me in trouble with this. There was a time I did a design and a designer went and copied everything I used in the design, and the character in the design is actually a member of the church that gave me the project to work on, and they copied the person too with the design. You know, they copy the concept, even copy the person. And the owner of the project, the person contacted me and she was really angry that why would I use that to go and make money? I was like, me use it to make money. Why would I do that? So I had to start explaining myself. So don't be like those designers that wanted to put Caesar graphics in trouble. So when you see a design that looks successful to you, take your time to understand why the design is successful to you. The more you do this, the more you do this, it's going to become second nature to you. You see yourself getting used to it, and this will always wake up that your part of creativity in you. It's going to help your intuition. Do you understand what I'm saying? The more you load your intuition, the more you open yourself to being creative. Creativity is not something we all bring from that came with us from heaven. No, 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 no. It is this part of the world that we all get that creativity. So for you to be a creative designer, you need to load yourself with seeing good designs that look interesting to you and solving why those designs are successful to you. And don't approach any design project with fear. Fear is one of designer's greatest enemy. If you have to work on design project and you go, how am I going to do this? And you're scared, your ability to be creative is going to be difficult. But when you approach any design project with fun, like you use joy to work on any project, you're going to see yourself coming up with good design projects. So there's one rule. Then the last part is there is no one right way to achieve a design project. So there's no police that will arrest you and say this is how the design must look. No, there are million ways to achieve design project, but make sure the goal of the project is fully projected in the design. make sure you make the focus of the design, the uh, making the design point and making the design point at the right viewers. All right, make sure that is visible in the design. The more if you can be working this way, I'm telling you, you're gonna see yourself shining like a star. All right, so yeah, that's where I'm going to stop.
All right. Thank you very
I'm
much,
done.
sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Mhm.
So I just want to know if you have any questions, you can feel free to type them in the chat box so that we can get to them. But let me just recap a bit of what one of some of the advice that I gave. And it said design is like a seed, so you need to give to the business of design. And he said make sure that the goal of the project is fully communicated and there is no one right way to actually achieve a design project. So thank you very much, sir, for all of these words that you gave us. I'm sure it's helpful to everyone and even to my own self because I learned a lot. And okay, there are questions already. So like I was saying, I'm very sure it was very helpful to everyone here. But once again, because of the network that did not allow me to read your bio, I have decided to read it again, once again. So okay, that was Caesar Graphics, everyone, and
I can't hear anything, no. Or is it from me? Hello, I can't hear
she
I can't hear you guys. Hello.
can anyone hear? Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Uh, at some point, the video freeze and I didn't hear anything from you again. It has freezed again. I can't hear you. I think the
Okay,
network is
can you hear me now,
affecting
sir?
here. Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, so like I was saying, that was that graphics that gave us on balance, hierarchy, color, and the unbreakable laws of design. I hope we can keep most of the things that have been asked today, but let's go straight to the questions that were asked now. And this is from Marvelous that says, are there times where you finish the project, you see the project wasn't good enough? Okay, so it's trying to say, are there times you finished a particular project and then you saw that the project was not good enough? What would be your reaction to that?
So this is common to every designer. You understand? And most of the time, this happen is when I found out that I did not really capture the message. You understand what I'm saying? Most of the time we go through this. It's either we are not fully uh, ready for the project. When I say fully ready for the project, I mean we're in a rush to quickly do the project, or um, you are tired and you're trying to force working on a project. You know, so this can make us have that design not looking enough, or not looking good enough. Sorry. So that's the I've answered the question. Hello.
Right, sir.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Yes, sir. So I feel like that's one thing, like you said, it's something that you can relate to, and almost every designer can easily relate to, and that might be because you've not
Sorry,
been able to
hold on. No.
it.
Can you please let me ask Marvelous if he's satisfied with the answer I just gave him now? All right.
Okay,
Yeah. If the answer is
please, are you
okay
satisfied
by
with
him,
the answer?
good.
Can we get a
You can
chat from you,
continue. I'm
sir?
sure he's
If you're
going to type.
satisfied
You can
with
continue. I'm sure he's going to type the
it. Okay,
response.
all right. So, like I said, you said it, there is one thing that we can all relate to, and it's probably the fact that maybe you've not been able to communicate exactly what you want to communicate with that design. So thank you very much, sir, once again. And I hope we see if we have questions. I feel like this is the opportunity for you to type it now, so we can be able to conclude as quickly as possible. All right. Okay, maybe not.
I don't
If
understand. What do you mean?
Marvel's,
Maybe not.
I totally understand. Okay, I guess you will get to it after that.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what you mean. But what would be your advice if you find out that the project wasn't, if you find out maybe you didn't exactly do it? Would you say you want to start again or you should just move on? Maybe you've given it to
So
the
yeah.
client
So
already.
most of the time, I found out that the project is not looking good enough. Is not because I didn't use the right elements. All right. It's not
Mm,
because I didn't use the right elements. Like what I always say to my students, a good design will always be good. All right. No matter how ugly, and no matter how you use the wrong, excuse me, no matter how you use the wrong element, a good design will always look good. So most of the time
mm,
when I find myself not doing something that I feel is not good enough, what I do is I check what exactly is affecting the success. It can be that I use elements that are not necessary. It can be the value of the colors, the combination of the colors. I did not balance the value of the color. Or maybe the type I'm using in the project is not really easy enough for people to see, or is too simple to point to the right people that I want to capture their attention. Or maybe my title is too looking too flat when I'm supposed to make it look jivey. So most time, like I said, most of the time I find out that the project is not good enough is when I see that the project is not really pointing at the right message. Like it's not really communicating the message the way it's supposed to. I hope with this depth response now, Marvelous will be able to say yes. He's
okay.
okay with my
I think that was
response.
basically also. Like you said, one thing I
Okay.
have picked, a good design will always look good. Okay, so I think now we'll be rounding up the session. Thank you very much, sir, for all that you said and for sticking with us even through the technical issues from the beginning to the end. We truly appreciate it, sir. And once again, this is Balm Camp 2025. If you really appreciate Caesar Graphics, please can you give your comments and your thumbs up to him because that was a wonderful one, which I myself learned a lot. So once again, this is BAM Design Camp, and BDC is a flagship creative experience by BAM City designed to equip young African creatives with tools, mindsets, and over all of these 3 days, we've tried to explicitly cover things that can really help people in design and help people in thinking all through the lens of Africa, creativity, and the real world. And this is something we'll keep doing 8 p.m. daily. We already had a session yesterday with the versatile Joseph, and tomorrow will be another one by 8 p.m. also. And tomorrow will be on designing for the future, which will be taken by Sanu Ademola. I hope you can stick with us from the beginning to the end. And thank you once again all for sticking with us from the beginning to the end, even through our technical issues. I hope you have a wonderful night. Once again, this is Bound Design Camp. Have a wonderful day.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye
Thank you
bye.
very much.
Thank you everyone for having me. Mhm.
Thank you, sir.